Hello friends, welcome to my Cozy Haven. My name is Fiona. I'm really glad you clicked my video today. I'm just going to be chatting to you about the books I've read in the last fortnight, what I'm going to be reading this weekend, what I'm planning to do this weekend, and just, general catch up. So catch up wise, what's been happening? Well, I went to the opticians 2 weeks ago. Everything's fine. I just needed new lenses for my reading specs and my varifocals. So I will get them. I'm taking Dad to the optician this week, so I'll get my new lenses then. These are my main readers, so I put my spares in. So I had a pair of reading glasses to use while the others were being done. And although I love these, I love my silhouettes, my other readers are the bigger frames, and I feel that for reading at bedtime, that gives me more lens, and I'm not maybe doing that, so that's fine. So I'm looking forward to getting those back. It's been really strange just having one pair of glasses and trying to remember that I don't walk around the house in these. But that's been happening. What else? Mum had her cataract surgery on Monday, and it went really, really well. They were just absolutely beautiful. They were so nice to her, and they were just so gentle and caring. It was just lovely, and they were really good. They were good to Dad and I as well, which was just as nice. She's doing well. Her sight's she's seeing and everything, so that's good. We just have like a drop regime. And my phone is now, it's now got alarms for every time we've got to do the drops and everything, but that's fine. We're coping really well with it. Mum's doing really well, so really grateful for that. Weather-wise, it's been a bit cloudier here this week. We've had a couple of days where it's been cloudy in the morning and then sunny in the afternoon. I still haven't sat outside. I haven't sat outside to read at all this summer. I'm not in the mood. And that's fine. My other half he's up north at the moment, and he's like, I'm not coming back down because the weather's so good here, but I need to be back down for Sunday, but I'm not coming back till Saturday. I'm like, yeah, fine, forever. And he's like, then I'm probably just going to go back up because I want the weather. I'm like, yeah, fine, go for it. I don't mind. I can't really go out at the moment because I'm tied to drop times. So, but that's, I'd rather do that than he can go chase the sun. Go on you go, son. Go for it. I'm quite happy. But yeah, shall we get into the books that I've been reading? So the first one I finished was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling. This is book number 2 for those of you that have never heard of Harry Potter, but I'm sure everybody's heard of Harry Potter. I enjoyed this one. I gave it, I think, 4 out of 5. This one, I think you begin to see more character development, and you begin to sort of see just how deep the friendship between Ron and Harry, Hermione is. I think that is just really well written as the story progresses. So I'm not going to say very much about this one. I'd read this one for Roxy and Brian's Harry Potter readathon. I will leave a link to both their channels down below. So yeah, I don't really think I need to tell you what Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is about. Majority of people know, but I did enjoy reading it, and I've got book 3 to read in August, so that'll be fun. We then started Christmas in July, the readathon that myself and Sarah from Iced Coffee and Cozy Books, I will leave a link to her channel down below, that she's asked me to co-host, so yeah. So my first book for that was Sleigh Bells Ring by Kate Forrest. This is the second, whose writing is Mona Marple. This is the second of the Christmas Cozy Mystery series. So we're back in Candy Cane Hollow with Holly. And she's, really settling in with the Clauses. And things are progressing towards the New Year's Eve ball where she's agreed to go with Nick. She's really looking forward to it. Mrs. Claus is trying to get her to agree to stay on in Candy Cane Hollow because a job vacancy has come up that Holly can very easily fill. She's still kind of not sure about it, but she's promised she'll make a decision. There's one bit I read to Dad while I was I took this with me when Mum was having her cataract surgery. So I'm just going to read you this wee bit because it's really funny. So this is Holly to Nick. And what are you doing today? Dad and I are going over the stats for Christmas, seeing how the delivery run went. Don't tell me even Santa has targets, I joked. Nick grimaced. It's all about the APDS, average present delivery speed. Don't forget the LPT, lost present tally. The elves can get really grumpy if they feel a present they worked on got lost in transit, Father Christmas added. So, yeah, I just read that and was laughing. And Dad's like, what are you laughing at? So I read it and I thought, oh my goodness. So, Holly's sort of settling in and Mrs. Claus is taking her around and introducing her to people. And at the New Year ball, an elf called Greasy, who is a cook, who runs a diner along with his pal, I think it was his pal called Twisted or Twisty. So hold on, just chat amongst yourselves. I'm sure his friends, his business partner was never mind. I'm sure it was Twisty. Anyway, Greasy gets killed. And at first it doesn't look, the police are like, no, it's not. And then, but Holly's like, don't know. And she very wisely took some photographs at the scene. And when she looks at them, she realises, no, actually, this is foul play. And she goes to the police. And Wiggles, the superintendent, chief superintendent, asks her if she'll help, basically, to solve the murder. So she does, and it's just her learning more about the village, learning more about the people, and trying to find a murderer. Really enjoyable. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I guess 4.5 to 4.75 out of 5. Thoroughly enjoyed this one, and I immediately bought BookTube because why not? Because they are just so fun. So if you're looking for a quick cozy mystery for our mystery prompt, this could be one of them. The first book is called Christmas Corpse. Sleigh Bells Ring, as I say, is number 2. But these are quick, easy. They're about 126 pages long. And they are just such fun reads. I then picked up Christmas Joy, a keepsake book from the heart of the home by Susan Branch. Chill December brings the sleet, blazing fire and Christmas treat. So that's the cover. And then, isn't that just so pretty? And then you've got your lovely inside papers. And this is just a beautiful, delightful book. It gives you some cookie recipes. It gives you idea for Christmas parties, for gifts, what to do on Christmas Day. But are these illustrations not just absolutely gorgeous? This was my first Susan Branch, and it definitely will not be my last. I got the idea of getting this because my friend Tammy from Believe in Yourself, again, leave a link to her channel down below, she had read a couple of Susan Branches, and she loved them. And I thought, I really fancy trying to read one of those. And Mum and Dad very kindly gave it to me for my Christmas last year. I just never read it. Really glad I got to read it this year. And then for my Christmas romance, I read A Bravo for Christmas by Christine Rimmer. This is part of the Bravos of Justice Creek series. Really, really enjoyed this one. So we meet Darius Bravo, and he is the CEO of Bravo Steelworks. He has always had feelings for this lady called Ava, and Ava turned him down when he was a senior in high school because she knew he was a bit of a playboy, and had a new girl every week or every couple of weeks on his arm because he was like one of the star football players. And Ava has a wee girl called Sylvie, and Ava's husband has passed away. Sylvie is part of the Justice Creek Blueberry Bay Company, and Darius is helping them build dolls' houses for underprivileged children. And the girls in the Blueberry Troop love him, and Ava, helps out as well. And she and Darius flirt with each other, but she's like, nah, it's not serious. But they then agree to a no strings Christmas. She calls it a fling. He has other ideas. And it's the story of will they, won't they? Will he manage to break down all her barriers that she has erected for various reasons they're very legitimate reasons? But will he do this? Will the Bravo family? I mean, she already goes to kind of Bravo family meals and things because she's friends with Darius' stepsisters. So it's like, she's already part of the family, and she feels part of the family, but sort of not. I really enjoyed this one. I love Christine Rimmer's writing, but I really like the characters, like the setting. I'm not so much one of these for the secret relationship or secret fling type thing, but she did it really, really well, and you kind of realised it was it was maybe not as fake as it was supposed to be. So I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It was a lovely read, and I'm glad it was a nice romance for the romance prompt for the Christmas in July. I also read The Best Christmas Ever and A Mother's Love by Cheryl Wolverton. I was given this one, I was sent this by Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books. Again, I will leave a link to her channel. I'm leaving quite a lot of links to channels down below, but that's great. So I'm going to read you the back of the books so that you can... when did this come out? This came out in November 2006. So I counted this for the Retro Romance Readathon that is organised by Sarah from Iced Coffee and Cozy Reads, and also from Storm Reads, again linked to channel down below. So, two remarkable women find their home in Cheryl Wolverton's classic stories. The Best Christmas Ever. A holiday homecoming was Sarah's way of healing the pain she caused her family. But this special time with her adorable niece and her late sister's handsome husband, Justin Warner, made her long to give the little girl what she wanted most for Christmas, a new mom. I'm not going to say very much about these books because I don't want to spoil the whole story for you. But this was a beautiful read. I really loved the characters. I could understand why Sarah felt the way she felt. And the wee girl was just a delight. She really was a fun little character who did try and get our way always, but was like, oh, can we do this? Can we do that? And I just really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, fun one. And then A Mother's Love. Lost and betrayed, Maggie Gardere believed her and her unborn child were all alone until Reverend Jake Matheson gave her a home, work, another chance. He also wanted to give her and the baby his love. Yet how could she ever allow a man into her heart again? This one was a harder read. Because of Maggie's parents and their reaction to various things and their not believing her as to what happened, and that was really, really hard. It was like, how could you not believe your own daughter? For me, it was a hard read. It was a good read, but bits of it were hard to read. It's like, how can it's just like, come on, how can you be so nasty to your own daughter? So yeah, again, retro romance, Christmas romance, all came together in one lovely, neat package. I then read Postcards from Sicily by Nancy Barone. I read this as part of a Rachel's Random Resources book tour. I'm into I think it's the beginning of August. My book tour date is, but I thought I'd tell you about it now. In this book, we find out that Olivia, she's living with her father. She's a grown woman. She lives with her husband, her 2 children, and her dad. And she runs what am I going to call it? Almost like an upholstery gift business from the outhouse at their home with her business partner Marcus, who's Danish. Olivia is estranged from her mother because when she was a teenager, her mother suddenly left and went to Italy, and no reason was given for this. Her father didn't explain it to her, and her mother lived in her parents divorced, and her mother now lives in Italy with her husband. Olivia is finding things at home tough. She's got a lot of anger issues as to what happened with her mother, and you can totally understand that. And things are getting to the point where she's not talking to her husband, and she and her husband, their communication skills are zero. Her daughter is not really talking to her. Her son is, and her dad is. But for 20 years, she's kind of lived with this hurt and anger over her mother moving away. She receives an invite to go to this resort in Italy at Lake Maggiore for 8 weeks, and it's been paid for by her mother. And to begin with, she's not wanting to go, but her father and her business partner Marcus, go, yeah, on you go. You've got to go. You really need this. Her husband's like, he's like, well, who's going to look after the children? And she's like, well, you're going to have to do it. And he's like, but I work. And she's like, so do I, but I still look after the kids. So he grudgingly lets her go. She arrives there and she's like, oh, this is brilliant, this is lovely. And then discovers that her mother is in the adjoining room. And it's basically the story of them. I'd worked out, when I discovered that her mother was there, I knew there was something else going on, and I kind of worked it out. But it's the story of, can the mother and daughter get over what, put behind them what happened? And can Olivia, when she finds out the full story, she was never told the full story as a teenager, which I think was wrong. When she finds out the full story, does that make a difference? That's all I'm going to say about this book. I don't want to give any more away because I just don't want to. Did I enjoy it? I gave it 3 stars. It was okay for me. Other people I think will love it. I just found it a bit too, really, I love the setting. And if the street was real, I'd probably think, oh, that'd be lovely. But I just found Olivia's anger and angst. I can totally understand it. I would feel that way as well. But I just found bits of it just like, really, come on. So it was possibly not one that I would say if it appeals to you, try it. It's just not one that sat well with me, if that makes sense. The other book I read for review was I'll Be Home for Christmas by Helen Rolfe. I really enjoyed this one. I gave this one 4.5 out of 5. So we meet Chrissy. And Chrissy and her daughter Sarah live in the UK. Chrissy's parents live in Switzerland, in a wee village called Winterbrook. And Chrissy's estranged sister Meg lives in London. Chrissy's daughter Sarah is due to be getting married on New Year's Eve, and she's not saying a lot about it. She's not getting excited about it or anything like that. And you can feel that Chrissy feels that she's having some second thoughts, and she's sort of saying to her gently, look, you don't have to get married. You can sort of think about it, and just, you can always postpone it. And her daughter's kind of, how can I put it? Her daughter is not talking to her, which is very unusual because her daughter normally does talk to her and will, come to her if there are any problems or things like that. Sarah, the daughter, decides, I've had enough and I'm going to Gran and Grandpa's. So she heads off to Winterbrook. And, guys, it sounds a delightful town if it was real. But, snow, mountains, just so lovely. Meanwhile, Chrissy's sister Meg has had the rug pulled under her at work. She's a chocolatier for a chocolate shop in London. And things happen that, so she flees as well to Winterbrook. And she arrives there unexpectedly to discover that Sarah's there. And she's not really seen Sarah since Sarah's dad's funeral. So they're there, and it's the story of Meg sort of figuring out what she's going to do next. It's the story of Sarah working things out for herself and getting to know her aunt. Then, lo and behold, Chrissy shows up. Is really not happy Meg's there and is forging a relationship with her daughter. Things happen that make the sisters have to talk, and that they have to discuss what happened, way back, and the impact that it's had on them and on their relationship. And it's also the story of a family coming together. It was beautifully written. I loved the characters. I found Chrissy a bit of a pain to begin with, but she grew on me. I loved Meg from the get-go. I loved Sarah from the get-go. Gran and Gramps were fantastic. And the setting, there was one trip that Meg and Sarah did and it was up the Jungfrau. It just sounded so delightful. I was like, oh, I would love to do that. It was just like, oh yeah, I really, really would love to do that trip. So maybe a bucket list trip at some point. But it was a really nice story with some angst. I will say that it was some angst, but still a really lovely Christmas story that Helen Rolfe wrote. And if you can get it, definitely get it. It comes out in August, I think. But so good a story. I really, really did enjoy it. So what am I reading now? I decided I needed a wee break from Christmas stories. So I picked up The Venetian Masquerade by Philip Gwyn Jones. I'm at chapter 15. The chapters are pretty short, which is really, really nice. Which makes you think you're getting fairly through this. Dad remembers this book. He knows he's read it. I think I know I've read this book. There's a bit that we're coming to now that I'm like, I remember this island, I think. But I don't remember the rest of the story, which is fine. I'll just keep reading it. So, as I say, there's 351 pages. I'm on page 100. So I possibly will get this finished this weekend, but this is going to be the book that I plan to read all weekend. Then I don't know what I'll pick up. Depends if the next Mona Marple arrives. Because if it does, then I think I'll be probably reading book 3 as well. So that's kind of my reading plans for the weekend. TV wise, watching, I plan to watch. There's rugby on Saturday. There will be Saturday rugby all day. Might watch the England-France game, the football. I don't know. Probably will watch the final between Argentina and Spain for the World Cup. I can see Spain taking Argentina, if I'm honest. I think Argentina need to play an awful lot better than they did against England to actually win. So I'm going to watch that. But if it's sunny and I feel like I may sit out for a while reading, but I say I'm just not in the mood. It's cloudy just now. Sorry, Mum has to wear an eye shield, so it's like I let her read it at night before I do it, so at times I'm not getting to bed or I'm not getting to put my light out till after midnight, but that's absolutely fine. I'd rather she stuck to her own normal routine, but she sort of said, we put it on last night and she tried to read, and I can read with the shield on, so she said, tonight you can just put it on earlier and you can put your light out, which I thought was really sweet of her. It's just lovely, but yeah, so just do that. Luckily, I've got all the laundry up to date, which is great. So that's it. Oh, I want to finish a diamond painting I started yesterday. If I remember once I finished it, I'll maybe do a wee short of it or something. We'll see. But that's it for this video, friends. I'm sorry I've been kind of over the place and yawning my head off. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please come chat with me down in the comments. What books have you read in the last fortnight? Do any of the ones I've read sound appealing to you? I would love to know. What are your plans for the weekend? Come tell me. And on your way down there, if you haven't already, I would love you to hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and thumbs up. It just helps my channel keep growing, which it is, and I'm most grateful. I really am. I hope to have a video out next week. I haven't done my mid-year tag yet, so I will get that recorded hopefully over the weekend as well, and I'll get that out next week. But until my next video, friends, stay safe, happy reading, bye.